A very common question I get asked is, am I too old to train? And this is from all ages, even 20-something-year-olds say that to me. But sometimes, a lot of times I get like 40s, 50s. Next week I got a 7-year-old, 70-year-old coming to train with me. But anyway, the first thing I think is, how fresh are you? Are you injured? Are you debilitated? Are you disabled in any way? If not, of course you can train. And I'm not just saying it just to say it. Like, it's an irrational idea that for some reason you can't train. You can train and get all the benefits. There's 40 plus. The only difference is you're not going to be as fast as your 20s, and you're not going to have the same cardio as your 20s. But as long as you don't have any major injury or anything that's debilitating and you can't move, then you're going to get all the benefits of training. But you've got to train smart, and you've got to be more disciplined. There's less room for error. The very first thing, physical foundation. So for physical foundation is very simple. Make it simple. It can get complex, but we'll make it simple. I'm going to tell you general, and then you can go research after this, whatever. You want to take care of your joints. You want to make sure mobility's a certain standard, like just a minimal standard. Minimal standard means you can move basic movement patterns without hindrance. The main ones is this: squat. Now, if your squat's off, just type in, go on YouTube and start learning about the squat, and then figure it out. All right. So you got your squat, you got your lunge. Make sure you can lunge properly. Push is just like a push up. Very simple. All right. Just get to a level where you can do a proper push up. Without your back sagging, without your spine moving all over the place. Like just straight. Engage your core and a nice push up. Pull could be a pull up. So push, pull, squat, lunge. Make sure you could do all those. Also add that into part of your program, part of your training. Sometimes you could do that you can use that as a warm up. So let's say your squat's a bit off. Let's say your hips are so tight, super tight, which is going to affect everything, because Thai boxing is kicking and kneeing and checking, and you're going to use a lot of hips. You'll come in, warm up, which you'll sit let's say you can hold onto a pole, sit down in a squat, start off 30 seconds, build it up to a minute and a half, and then start adding some weight. So that's one example. So that's your physical foundation. Make sure you do that, right? Take care of your joints, all right? Which is adding in a little bit of strength training. Strength training, just exercise, all right? Basic exercise. Do static if you're starting off. This is beginner, but beginner doesn't mean it's any less effective. It's I still do lots of static holds. So you could just YouTube it. Static body weight exercises. Static exercises are really good because they're safe. You're not bouncing around, you're not jumping around. It's no impact on the body, especially if you're 35, 40 plus, and even starting from day one. You want to minimize the impact to your body. Unnecessary impact, unnecessary damage, unnecessary contact, because a lot of it's unnecessary. It took me a long time to realize that. When you're young, you don't care because you don't feel the consequences. Your body's going through all these cycles. Like it's mileage. It's like a car, brand new car. You drive it, you don't feel any wear and tear, and once it kicks in hard, right? But if you take care of your brand new car from day one, then it's going to last a long time, and you'll be happy. Once it's 200, 300,000 miles and it's still running smoothly, you're going to get a good bang for your buck. But if you're starting with a second-hand car and you got 200,000 mileage already, take care of it from day one. You can't make mistakes. Take care of your joints. Make sure that your flexibility is at a good enough standard, a minimal standard, which is, you'll know. If it's shockingly bad, then that means you've got to improve on it and work on that. If it's like, oh, it's not too bad, I could touch my toes, I can squat, I can lunge, that's good enough. Make sure you always warm up properly. So for example, I take minimum 15 minutes for myself to warm up, and I move pretty fast and I know what I'm doing, but 30 minutes is a good amount. When you warm up, don't go pound the pavement running. You know, that's impact on your joints. You're gonna wear out. It feels good, it's easy, it's simple, you know how to do it, but don't do it. You know, you're just gonna wear yourself out more. You have to warm up smart. I would recommend learn a bit of yoga. You can't go wrong with yoga, and do some active stretching, not passive stretching where you just sit there and stretch. Like, find them. You know, if you haven't already done yoga, I recommend it. It's very compatible with Muay Thai. So do some active stretching. Also, find when it comes to stretching, work on your weak points. Two things actually. Work on your weak points. So find which is your least favorite body part to stretch. Most likely that's your tightest. So one, do that, and two, warm up the muscles, the ones that you're going to use in Muay Thai. Shoulders, huge. So joints, hips, huge. Joints. Make sure that you thoroughly move them in all directions and get them ready to work for your session. If you don't do that, then and you start hitting cold, that's going to put so much friction on your joints, and you will not last long. Then eventually you'll get an injury and you're out, and then you're going to be like, oh fuck, Thai boxing, man, that's too much on my body, and you're going to miss out on everything. So don't do that. Make sure you cool down. So cool down straight after the session. This is for everyone, but especially for 35, 40 plus, right? That, bang, bang, you finish the knees on bag, and then, sometimes I see people just walk straight out, grab their bags and walk straight out. That I cringe. You'll sit in the car and all your blood will pool in and you just stiffen up. That's why you wake up the next day, you can barely move, Good opportunity straight after training is your body, your muscles are all warm, and that's the time where they can lengthen the most. So the spots that you want to get more flexible, best time to do them now. And also after training, it's a good time to do static stretches, just holding them for longer periods. Before, when you're warming up, you want to do more active, like get the heart rate up, get the blood to the working muscles. It's not necessarily about making them, lengthening them. Then after training, you want to calm down, lower the heart rate. Then you can do the static ones, deep breaths, relax, lengthen the muscle. You'll go home, you'll have a better sleep. You're going to be happy. Minimize contact. So minimize impact. Look at things in terms of impact and contact versus the benefits. All right. Shadow boxing. No contact, no impact. Very healthy. Like doesn't wear your body out. You can practice so much skill. Keep the intensity high. You still want to get conditioning. You still want to smash bags, smash pads, do all that stuff. Yes, for sure. That's going to keep you. That's what's going to make you explosive, strong. Develop your body, transform your body, just like a sprinter. It's intense. But remember, sprinters only 10, 20 seconds they sprint. It's very short. And long rests, just like power lifters lifting heavy weights. So on the spectrum, you want that intensity to be high, but the volume low. This is huge. Thai boxers generally train way too long. All right, and that's why it's easy to overtrain in Muay Thai. So spend a lot of time working skill. Let's say shadow boxing, light contact. You can do drills. Drills are awesome. Now for your conditioning component, and maybe in the middle or towards the end of your session, go hard. You can smash pads, smash bags. Yeah, it's going to be a little contact, little impact, but not too long. Sometimes, like for example, for me, I'll do when I want to really ramp it up, I'll do 1 minute pad rounds, just 1 minute, 5 of those. That's my whole workout. So I'll build up to that. I have a 30-minute warm up. I'll shadow box a little bit. Maybe I'll work on something new on the bag, but not hard. I'll do a few warm-up pad rounds, like working on something, slowly increasing it. Maybe I'll get to 70, 80%, bam, bam, bam. Then I'm like, all right, suck it in. I'm going to do 5 1-minute hard rounds, man, and then I smash it hard. And I've only done 5 minutes of work, 5. That's not much. And then I'll spend some time cooling down, whatever. So keep intensity high. So always, you want to have that intensity. Lower the volume. Don't overdo it. Don't make it too long. And think in terms of that. Sparring, don't spar with dickheads. Don't spar with people that like white belts that are going to hurt you. So you got to have good sparring partners. This is super important. Spar technical, 90, 95%, 100%. Why not? So if you really want to test yourself occasionally, go spar hard. 16-ounce boxing gloves, only boxing. Then you can go real. Let's say once a month. If you want a challenge, like if you're at that level, and you want to pound because it's fun, then once a month, when the day's right, it could be spontaneous. Slip them on with a trusted partner, always a trusted partner, And when you're older, it's easier because you don't have that much you don't have that ego as much to prove as you were when you're 20s. So go hard, test yourself, whatever. You have a trusted partner, so when he knows when he hits you or you're hurt, he can pull back, right? Otherwise, you don't need that. Spar technical the whole time. But good partners is important. That's you can't just go buy them. So you got to search around. You got to make friends. You got to be cool and connect with someone or a few people, or go to a gym with that culture and spar technical. So if you're getting injured if you're getting a small injury once a month, that's bad feedback. So injuries should be almost non-existent, right? You can do that because I'm doing that now. If you're starting off, think of it this way. So if you're 35, just think, all right, I'm going to be a 40-year-old beast. That's motivating if you think of it that way, and do it. That's fine. If you're starting and you're like, oh man, I'm 45 and whatever, and just think, all right. But if you're 45 now and you did 5 years, you're going to be a 50-year-old beast. Do it. You got nothing to lose. So remember that main thing. Don't get injured. Train smart. Look after your body. Number one. Find a good gym and maybe a mature trainer that can meet those needs. Hopefully that helps. All right.